Welcome to game 2 of this series. IronSteel versus Vertex once again. IronSteel, that's the blue pieces once again. Right off the bat, you can see IronSteel with the potential for a storage boost to start here. It's not going to be the best. You see 3 shorefish, and you know it's okay. He should be spotting this third shorefish in any second and going for the pit here. He has to, basically. He's committed to this. I can't see him going for his berries, as they are pretty bugged. He could go for the secondary berry, but it won't be enough to sustain him, and he will be, especially with these 2 elephants here. He will have plenty of food. Meanwhile, his opponent Vertex with a very nice pit option here. 2 shorefish with some gazelle to lure. I think he will be building his pit right there, and yes, he will. It looks good for him here. His berries also a little bugged. Neither player having access to a restart here, but I guess that's for the best in this situation, as both players with bug berries. You would hate to resign early with bug berry if your opponent also has bug berry. How's the stream look? I'm just gonna go double check. Is there anything wrong with the stream? Nope, we're all good. Just doing that little double check there. So Vertex versus IronSteel game 2. Vertex looking to not get knocked out 2-0 in round 1 of this tournament. Meanwhile, his opponent, Steel, looking to advance to the quarterfinals, essentially. Yeah, and with that move, Vertex makes this pit very strong. Even just one gazelle, another gazelle would really seal the deal, rather. Making this a fantastic pit, and he will get the second. If a little far, it's still functional. And look at that pit. That's beautiful. That's beautiful stuff from Vertex. He's going to get a really nice start here, especially with all that wood. It will open a lot of opportunities for him, potentially. A dock start, probably not. I'm assuming we're going to see another pit from him in the near future. Probably over here. This pit spot, very strong for him as well. A little bit stronger than his start here. I don't see him going south. Maybe, if he has to. But that would be going towards his opponent. Obviously, he does not know that yet. Vertex, however, scouting the shoreline with that artifact will get that critical info. He did just spot all 3 of these shorefish. And with that one being a little out of reach, he probably won't be going for the pit here. I really think he'd prefer this pit up here, especially it being tucked in between 2 forests. Being closer to his stone mine to secure that. As we saw last game, he went for that stone mine play, in which he went for slingers, rather. Not stone mine play. What the heck is that word? Ooh, a little bit of lag here. Oof. Not much we can do about this, as I said before. Part of the skill gap. It's part of the skill ceiling. Very interesting amount of lag, too. You usually don't see this. I'm not going to lie. This is pretty odd for DE. This must be due to player internet. Potentially mine at this moment, but I doubt it. Now we're seeing the Bills come forward for Steel. Probably looking... Ooh, excuse my yawn there. Probably looking to make a pit here, but his berries will actually be hindering this woodline quite a bit. Specifically this berry bush that we're looking at here. It's going to really slow this down once he gets through these 3 trees. 1, 2, 3. 3. 1, 2, 3. Looking for the alley lure now to secure his economy. Yeah, wow, and we saw it. We're seeing it right now. Vertex with the dock start, maybe trying something different. He's on the cusp of being knocked out of this tournament. If he loses this game, he will be kicked out. After such a strong qualifier from him, I'm a little surprised he's going for something this bold. Maybe trying to go for a slinger defense. I'm not sure if that's going to work out for him, especially when you consider the way he played the last one. His previous game not going too well for him. I'd be surprised to see Steel, however, change up his tactic. And there's something blue on the minimap here. Is that an artifact or a Vil? I can't actually tell. It's like right here, right? You guys see that? Here's the minimap view. If you are so inclined to see that. Do you guys see what I'm trying to zoom in on? Do you guys see this? I can't tell if that's an artifact or a Vil. It's probably an artifact. But I mean, look. I mean, it's definitely hidden. It's definitely hidden behind something. I don't know. It's probably an artifact. By the fact that it's been idle for so long, we can assume it's an artifact. But those artifacts in Conquest providing a lot of info. If you're unfamiliar with the artifact and ruin gameplay, they're basically like collect them all and you get a wonder. Uh, Once you get them all, you get a timer. If you lose just one of them, they're like convertible, right, by the closest unit. So if you don't keep units around them, they're converted back. So it's kind of a back and forth in standard gameplay. We've seen some tournaments be decided by artifacts and ruins, but in Conquest, which is the setting for this, they are just free scouts when they spawn on the map. They are not guaranteed to spawn on Conti, or on any map, rather, any RM map. It's a chance that you'll get them or you won't. And now Vertex going for this granary. He's going to be pretty sad about this granary, except for the fact that it walls him in pretty nicely, getting a pretty thick house wall here. All the way from the dock to the town center is currently walled, although he is on the cusp of chopping through. And do we see some builds from Steel? Yes. The same play from Steel, although to his detriment, he is A, not on a hill, and B, much further from his opponent than he was last game. A hill on either side of these barracks means that potentially Vertex could, with Slinger play, deny a lot of units out of these barracks, right? So if you're looking at this and you're saying, wow, this hill's pretty far away for a Slinger to do any damage, consider just kiting any unit that comes out of this barracks, like any axers essentially that come out of this barracks. Vertex could be hitting the barracks and just run to the safety of this hill, and there's nothing that Steel could do. Wow, a third barracks. He's going for a full-in axe rush here. You know that by seeing that third barracks, it just completely indicates the axe rush, right? If you're going for slingers, you typically only go for 2 barrack and a market. You need to save the wood for that market upgrade, otherwise your slingers will not be effective in time. Meanwhile, the defense for Vertex is shabby, to say the most. This is going to be tough. The axes are already going to get in for Steel. This clever already on Vertex's wood line. And Vertex is going to have to respond. He is up, though, with the stone wall available. Looking to get these walls off. This this clever with the +2 armor is actually going to kill quite a few vills. Especially now that it's an axer with +2/+2. It's a fully upgraded axer in the wood line of Vertex, and we might be seeing Vertex call GG very soon. That's very unfortunate for him, as that's just rough. I mean, this axer could kill what, potentially another 2 bills. Not if Steel doesn't micro properly, so it will kill nothing. And now Vertex is pretty safe in his little area. He's got 3 shorefish here. As we spoke of earlier, this is a very defendable position, but without any stone available, it's going to have to be the axer defense unless he opts for some archery range potentially behind these barracks. I cannot foresee that happening, though, in the near future, especially with Steel with a very aggressive dock. I just love IronSteel's play here. These docks, both times, have probably sealed the deal. I mean, this being the second time in a row he's done this. His axe play has been very fast, very brutal, and absolutely devastating for every opponent he's come across so far in this tournament, and by that I mean just Vertex last game. But when you consider how brutal this is, I mean, just look at the placement of this dock. It's in prime position to just deny everything. Like, what's a Vertex gonna do here? And with the ship coming out, Steel's going to be able to deny all the new ships that Vertex made, and Vertex is going to have to pull back with his first ships. The first scout ships coming out at the same time is always a bad sign for the defender, as it's just more reason for your opponent to keep attacking. Meanwhile, at home, IronSteel still only on 20 fills. Vertex may be getting a little ahead of himself here, going up to 21. Without any defending army, he's going to have to run his whole economy here, but with 2 ships on 2 here, the scout ships from both players pretty damaged. Vertex forced to make a choice. Vertex is forced to make a choice here between defending his vills or defending his sea. And I think he really wasn't given a choice here by Steel. Steel with a very dominant position now. I cannot see how Steel would lose this game. Maybe Steel is just looking just too strong for Vertex at this time. Coming forward for the repairs, he will be able to keep both of his ships alive with these 2 bills. Vertex getting absolutely out-microed and surely demolished in such a short amount of time. He's getting absolutely dismantled. Look at the kill loss, guys. 15-9. 15-9. Absolutely no signs of any counterattacks here. Oh, I lied. A fully upgraded action. 3 fully upgraded actions. I didn't see this on the minimap, guys. My apologies. My apologies indeed. Vertex with a strong counterattack here. 3 axes here. More than enough to force some full migration from IronSteel. IronSteel getting caught off a little bit without the stone walls. I mean, this could put him in a tough position, but I think the eco damage from steel is just going to be too much for Vertex. IronSteel still has the option for transport here to get into the fragile economy of Vertex, and I think he will be looking for that option pretty soon. I can't imagine, after seeing that he's 3-1 on the sea, I can't imagine he's going to delay his transport option too much longer. It's always going to be a strong choice from him, but no. Vertex now with a defensive ship and a full wood line here. This is a pretty saturated wood line. He's going to feel good about this income. However, with no food income off the back of it, he's going to be kind of lacking in options here offensively, right? Like, he's going to be able to make a few barracks units, right? Like, he's going to keep making some axemen, but I don't see how it's going to propel him into a solid mid-tool game, right? As the opening of the tool age comes to a crawl around 16 minutes, we have IronSteel in a far superior position, and going up to 22 vills now. He's starting the boom, and look at the timeline. The timeline in favor of IronSteel. IronSteel not the type of player to lose from this position. Although with 3 vills on the front, he could easily get punished by Vertex here. Vertex moving in with 2 ships here. Did he push Steel back? Yeah, looks like he may have. Although Steel getting that critical damage in did kill all of the sea economy of Vertex. And Vertex falling back behind the safety of his ships with 2 fishing boats. 2 ships coming forward, or 2 vills rather, coming forward from Steel to repair. This game potentially could get messy, as we say, in quotes, messy. Implying when you're both players' economies are very low, small, incapable of production of units, right? That's when you get really crazy plays in gameplay. Wow, 4-on-4 here, but one of Steel's ships did take quite the beating, but now Vertex, repaying the favor, will lose a lot of HP on one of his ships. We could be seeing a trade 1-for-1 on the sea. The micro coming out from both players. Vertex seems to be getting the better of Steel here. Steel maybe focus on another part of the map. Ooh, Vertex able to escape with 2 burning ships. With a 4th ship from Steel coming back. And the micro from Steel. Wow, the micro from both players extremely solid here, guys. That's tough stuff to pay attention to, especially when your units are fighting off in the middle of the map. And you're forced to pay attention to all that is going on here. And the slingers from Steel. Still not enough to deal with all these axers from Vertex. But if you look back at Vertex's base, he's losing house after house. And what that is going to do is really diminish the quality of his scout ship war. Right, it's dock on dock, and that's the GG from Vertex. So wow, Steel pulling off a very convincing performance here in game number 2 as well as game number 1. Wow, a quick 2-0. A quick 2-0. Indeed, guys. And that is going to be it for this game. Incredible stuff from IronSteel, and you guys just have to give props to this guy. He wasn't quite able to convert his games last tournament into any wins, but Conti is basically what he's known for. I mean, when we talk about IronSteel, talk about his Conti play, and I'm excited to see how this continues.